There it is. Now you can hear me. I sang for you. I sang that whole intro and you didn't hear any of it. But it's fine because it was a country song. I love country songs. Country songs are not to everybody's flavor. I get that. But it was a pretty good song. I don't even know why this song is stuck in my head. So it's a song called That's My Story. And it's literally the song, right? The whole idea of the song is this guy being like, no, baby, I wasn't gone all night. I don't know what you're talking about. And she's like, you were obviously gone all night. Like, what were you doing? And he's like, nothing. And she's like, you, what? That's the song. It's literally, it's like the back and forth of her being like, you're bullshitting. And him being like, no, I'm not. And then at the end, he's like, I was out playing cards with my friends. That's it. He's like, what? Oh, goodness. Anyways. So, yeah. Good times. Good times, good songs, good life, good love, good everything. I was going to make coffee this morning, and then I realized I didn't have time to do my French press because I gave myself like 5 minutes. So I decided instead to make tea. So I'm drinking green tea. Cheers, everybody. Get your mugs up. Get your mugs up. Or your glasses up. Get your beer up. I don't really care. And tink. Cheers. Let me tweet that I'm here. Dodger, who was that Johnny Depp type man last night? Oh my goodness. So, I saw, there's a channel called Crisscross Media. Actually, wait, I'm going to tweet first. I'm live. We're talking Depps and country and whatever. There we go. All right. If you guys could retweet that would be amazing. If you don't know who I am, on Twitter, I'm at DexBonus, DEXBONUS, and I'm so close to having 200,000. It says on the page that I have 200,000, which I know is a super lie. It just rounds up for some reason and gets you really excited when it's actually lying to you. So right now I'm at 199,578 followers. So see, it's rounded up because I'm over the 500 mark to get to the next 1,000, but I'm not quite there. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, that would be the dopeness. And then I can, I don't know, if somehow I manage to get 500 new followers on Twitter, then I would be able to be like, we just hit 200,000, what? And then we could all sing country together. I don't know. Anyways, okay, so what was I going to tell you? Johnny Depp. Okay, so there's a channel called Crisscross Media, and the name comes from the fact that it was being run by two different Chris's, a Christopher and a Christian, and they were best friends. And then it went down to just the one Christopher, who does a lot of animation stuff, and he's super, super talented, like one of the sweetest dudes in the world. And he would come out to LA every now and then and meet up with us. He was really close with like Mike and Ro and I when we all lived together. And I haven't seen him in, I think, like 2.5 years, maybe. So it was the most bizarre thing because it went from, this is Chris, this is sweet little babby Chris, right? And then I saw him yesterday and I was like, holy crap, you're like a dude now. Like, you look like a man. This is like super weird. And it didn't even connect with my brain that he might look anything like Johnny Depp. But apparently, so he came into our office last night while Sam was streaming and everybody was like, is that Johnny Depp in your house? And we all laughed about it. And I was like, oh, I guess you do like kind of look like Johnny Depp. Like his hair's grown out. He's got a little bit of scruff. He's got the glasses, and he's a huge, huge Disney fan. And so he has the like Jack tattoo that Johnny Depp has, except it doesn't say Jack on it. So, or the sparrow, I guess is what I should say. So we were driving out to get okonomiyaki with Happily Aaron and Aaron Umatani and all the Aarons, every possible Aaron, all went to get okonomiyaki that night. And on the drive, like on the way there, he was telling me that he went to Disneyland at one point. And at Disneyland, if they see somebody who is a celebrity, it's supposed to be like passed down, like telephone style, amongst everybody who works there so that they can keep an eye out for that person, make sure that nobody's bothering them, make sure that they're having a good time, and et cetera, et cetera. And so somebody had seen Chris and thought that he was Johnny Depp and passed it along. And so everybody was looking for Johnny Depp, and he had all of these people coming up to him and being like, Mr. Oh, like all of these people that worked there were like trying to interact with him as though he was Johnny Depp, and then realizing and being like, wait, but are you the guy? Like, still so good. So good. I was like, Chris, you're living the life. And he was like, am I? I just get like, people think I'm Johnny Depp all the time. I was like, look, there are way worse people than they could think you are. They could be to be, sir. So, but yeah, Chris is a huge Disney buff, and so is Sam. So I feel like they would get along really well. Actually, tonight we're all getting together. Like a bunch of friends are all getting together, and we're like, Chris, you should come. So, yeah, I think Sam and Chris could be good friends. They could be good friends. Yeah, man. This week has been an interesting week. I got to be FemScout in a TF2 musical, and that was amazing. That video is probably going to go up in like a couple of weeks. It's a pretty simple video, but I was still jazzed that they asked me to do it. And Kazatron subscribed. Thank you so much for your subscription. I hope you're enjoying the stream, and all future streams use the emotes for evil, not good. We have lost some subscribers. We're back down to needing about 200 in order to get our new emotes. So just throwing that out there. Because, you know, people get so hyped up. They get so hyped up by, I don't know, porn songs and weird dances and, you know, subscriber raps and whatever else just happens to happen on a Saturday Morning Dooger. And then they subscribe, and then they're like, I didn't actually want that. And then they leave. So if you actually want that, if you actually want to be part of the crew, be a sweet Bobby burrito and clink glasses and have funsies, then I would love it if you subscribed. If you can't subscribe, do not feel bad. I want to throw that every time. I want to throw that out there every time. If you were just here watching, if you have me whitelisted on ad blocker, that would be amazing. Even just being here is helping me out in a big, big way. So, Ricata subscribed. Thank you so much for your subscription. I hope you're enjoying the stream and all future streams. Use the emotes for evil, not good. And Ryu Zoji Shoko subscribed. And BioWare Fair 81 subscribed. And One Girl Riot subscribed. You sweetie pies. You sweetie pies. So many subscribers all in a row. Thank you guys so much for your subscriptions. I hope you're enjoying the stream and all future streams. You use the emotes for evil, not good. We have lots of beautiful, dumb emotes. We also have a Reddit post. Actually, wait, let me bring it up. And then Antwolf subscribed. Thank you so much for your subscription. I hope you're enjoying the stream and all future streams. Use the emotes for evil, not good. Let me find this this thingy. Twitch emotes. We created a post for Twitch emote suggestions. Boop, 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 boop. And The Sharp subscribed. Thank you so much for your subscription. I hope you're enjoying the stream and all future streams. Use the emotes for evil, not good. Essentially, this Reddit post is asking, like, so we have some fun emotes. We have some useful emotes, like emotes that can be used in specific situations. So what are other emotes that you would like to see? And as a person who has not subscribed, what would be like the emote? The emote that would make you be like, I need that. I need to use that. Just throw it in there. Let me know. We've gotten some good responses. We've gotten because I have cat emotes for when you see my cats. So somebody said we need one for Sam because sometimes we see Sam. Stolen Tag subscribed. Thank you so much for your subscription. I hope you are enjoying the stream and all future streams. Use the emotes for evil, not good. Desk slams, please. A lot of people have said desk slams and like face palms, and Mr. Mac 2030 subscribed. Thank you so much for your subscription. I hope you are enjoying the stream. And I don't know what those would look like is the problem, right? I was talking with Danny about it. Jared 0x90 subscribed. Thank you so much for your subscription. And Vandastelga subscribed. Thank you so much for your subscription. I hope you both are enjoying the stream and all future streams that you use the emotes for evil, not good. I will shorten my thank you so much for subscribing message after this point. So that I'm not saying the full thing every single time. But I do hope that you enjoy the emotes, and I do hope you use them for evil. I don't know what a desk slam emote would look like, right? Like, how do you perfectly express that in an emote? A 50-pound bag of dicks, whoa, subscribed, and Violet Kitty 09 subscribed. You are both beautiful and wonderful. Thank you so much for subscribing. Mirror Shades is on Monday, right? Is it on Monday? I think it's on Thursday. I think we might be changing it officially to Thursday, but I'm actually not super positive. I'm actually not completely positive. Anyway, I'm sorry. I was talking about FemScout. Oh my god. So, one of my dream, like, easy cosplays has always been to do FemScout. And I always think to myself, oh gosh, that would be such an easy, just like really fun cosplay, because I love TF2. I've played way too much TF2. It's just one of those games that sometimes when I'm not sure what to play, I know that playing TF2 will be fun and kind of mindless, and I enjoy the aesthetic of it, right? But I'm usually always heavy. Like, if there was a tier system of like dream cosplays within TF2, it would be like super tiny heavy. Squirrel Power subscribed. Thank you so much for your subscription. I didn't want to miss you. I was really worried that I would finish the rest of my thought and then I wouldn't have the time to read your name. And then Lime Samurai subscribed. Thank you so much for your subscription. Oh my gosh, you're all so sweet. You're all so sweet. Thank you. I would want to be super, super itty bitty heavy, but with the same size gun, obviously. And then FemScout was the next one. And so Random Encounters, who I've done lots of other music stuff with, did Eevee Song, which is, for a lot of people, that's like my claim to fame. Did Eevee Song on there, and also was part of Resident Enos with Markiplier. We did that song as well. And so they were like, hey, are you interested in doing a follow-up to our Medic song that's like the Scout song, the Medic and the Scout together? And I was like, I'm in. I didn't want to slam it too hard. I'm in. So I got to be FemScout for like an entire day, and I was like, this is fantastic. This is just, I mean, my dream. So now I've just kind of decided that I want to put together like the perfect FemScout outfit and then do that like for realsies. Sithic subscribed. Thank you so much for your subscription. Mwah. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Did you say that a 50-pound bag of dicks subscribed? It did. I mean, 50 pounds, like, that's half the size of me. So, if it was a 100-pound bag of dicks, it could have been a person that was my size. I don't know. Her and Danny doing a duet. Oh, gosh, I want to do a song with Danny Sexbang so bad. That's the dream. That's the dream. And then, of course, the other, like, big thing that happened this week was I was on Dropped Frames. We did an all-girl episode. For those of you who somehow do not know that this happened, we did an all-girl episode of Dropped Frames. And it was me, it was Shannon Z Killer, it was Casey Tron, it was Lal Renee. Yeah, the four of us. And it went really... It's interesting because at the time that we were doing the show, the chat was incredible. Like, of course, there were some people who were saying shitty things. That's always going to happen. But for the most part, the chat was filled with, like, honest discussion, like civil discussion, and plenty of people who disagreed with us, plenty of people who did agree with us. But very, very rarely were there people who were attacking one another, you know? And it was just so wonderful and so nice. Like, we were doing the show and we kept just saying, like, gosh, everybody's been so great, you know? And there has been some backlash that's come off of that, because really the topic was, in a broad sense, supposed to be, what is it like to be a female streamer? Was the basic idea of the whole thing. And we wound up talking about a lot of stuff. We wound up talking about what it's like to market ourselves. We wound up talking about this whole weird idea that one female streamer should be representative of like all women, and all women streamers more specifically. It was a really good show, I felt, and I still feel that way. I have been called out a few times by plenty of people saying in the past you've said the total opposite of this, which is true. But I like to think that that's a good thing, because it means that in the last couple of years I've grown and my feelings have changed, because I've worked very hard to have an open mind and try to figure out what it is that I do truly think and believe, and be willing to listen to other people. And I've absolutely been that person in the past who has been like, God, these sluts, right? Like, these hoes on Twitch, these hoes on YouTube, just showing off their boobs and getting all of the views, like, fuck that, you know? But I'm glad that I'm not that person anymore. I'm glad that I've developed past that. I'm very proud of that fact. So I've tried not to take it as a bad thing when people say, you've said like a totally different thing in the last couple of years. I'm like, maybe I have, and that's okay, because that means that I've been willing to change and grow and think beyond, you know, what it was that I was holding on to as like, this is fact. These are my feelings. This is who I am. This is what I believe. And it doesn't have to be set in stone, especially not, you know, when you're young. Emojo Jojo subscribed. I think I put too many Joes in there. Thank you so much for your subscription. I hope you're enjoying the stream, and all future streams use the emotes for evil, not good. If you want to watch that dropped framed episode, it's on JP's channel, youtube.com/itmejp. And part 2 of the dropped frame special edition, part 2 is where we really start getting into it, because part 1 is fairly normal. It's just, what have you guys been playing? What's up? How's your life? And we're like, here it is. And then part 2 is when we're like, let's talk about some shit that's gonna start some shit. And then it started some shit, and whatever. You gotta start shit to make room for food. Cause your body's making the poop, but then nothing's gonna be in your stomach, and then everybody's gonna feel like, man, I feel empty inside, like real sad and depressed about stuff. But then a guy comes over and he's like, here's your okonomiyaki, and you're like, oh my god, I love okonomiyaki, and then you eat all of it and you feel great. So we need to all fill our mouths with delicious food. I don't know if you like okonomiyaki, but I do, and I had a lot of it last night. It was delicious. Mr. Bongwater subscribed. Thank you so much for your subscription, Mr. Bongwater. Hope you're enjoying the stream, and all future streams use the emotes for evil, not good. Lots of people after that show actually came to me and were like, can you and Renee do a show together? Can you and Renee please do a collab of some sort? And I was like, I mean, I would love to. Renee is hilarious. She's just she's just a wonderful lady. They all are. That was a really good show. I had a lot of fun with everybody. So, yeah, I feel very fortunate that I have the community that I do, because I know that not everybody has received mostly comments saying, that was a great show, thank you so much for that discussion. That's mostly, I'll be honest, of the people who watch me, of the people who follow me and really like make up my core community. That's been the response. Even if it starts with, while I do disagree on some points, I'm really glad that discussion happened. I think that you guys were a good group. Like, that's been mostly what I've gotten as a response to this whole thing. And I know that that's not true for all of the girls who were on there. So I feel very, very, very fortunate to have the people that I do in my community supporting me and supporting all of us. So you're all wonderful, is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that you're all wonderful. Kite Dance subscribed. Thank you so much for your subscription. I hope you're enjoying the stream and all future streams. Use the emotes for evil, not good. You're all just so, I don't know, just so willing to be there for the conversation and not turn it into a war. And that's so rare. It really is. And that's sad. But I do feel very fortunate to have all of you. So a pepperonis emote. I'm not going to take that. That was Renee's thing. I'm going to let Renee make that pepperoni emote. It's not going to be me. I am Hidama subscribed. Thank you so much for your subscription. I hope you're enjoying the stream and all future streams. Use the emotes for evil, not good. Guys, all right. The other thing that has happened this last week, I am so into Final Fantasy 14. So into oh my gosh. I'm so bummed. So all I knew about how to create a white mage Actually, let me back up. For those of you who don't play Final Fantasy 14, it's got a really interesting class system where, yep, it's happening. It's happening. It has this really interesting class system where you make a person and you can literally learn any class. And the classes are more just like abilities. And different abilities qualify you for a job is more the idea. So like, I've learned how to be a conjurer, and I've learned how to be an arcanist, right? I've also learned how to be a cook, and I'm wanting to learn how to fish, right? All of those things are considered classes, regardless of whether they're like trade classes or battle classes. They're all classes, and you can learn any of them. You can level them up however you want, and then you can kind of build your character from there. But you have to learn specific classes up to a certain point in order to, like, apply for a job within the context of the game, right? So I knew that I needed to have Conjuring up to 30, and I knew that I needed to have Arcana up to 15 in order to be my shirtless white mage self, because I'm always a catboy and I'm always shirtless, and that's been the shtick. Anyways, so I was like, all right, I did it. I got my Arcana to 15. My Conjuring is at like 33 now. I was like, I'm ready. I'm so ready to be a white mage. And then it turned out I had like 3 different Conjuring quests, like within the storyline of like being a conjurer. I had like 3 quests that I hadn't done, and everybody was like, yeah, you have to get like to become the white mage, you have to like go to your conjuring person basically. And I was like, but he's giving me other quests. And they were like, oh, then you need to do those first. And I'm like, no. So, JP and Sam eternal bonding. They're gonna do it. Sam was telling me all about it last night. They're totally gonna get married. It's interesting. Getting married in Final Fantasy 14 is like a big old deal. You have to pay a certain amount of money. Both people, or maybe only one person, has to apply. Like, it's basically like if you were actually getting married and you had to book an appointment at a location to get married there, right? Like, you have to do that in the game. Like, they want to make sure that you actually want to do it, because I think maybe this is just a stretch, but I think part of it is because you get this super dope 2-seater chocobo, and which I think is totally like one of the reasons why they want to get married, is they're like, if we get married in the game, then we get those dope chocobos. Like, that's like the whole thing, right? So yeah, I feel like they're making it like kind of hard for you to just get this chocobo. Teal Spoon subscribed. Thank you so much for your subscription. I hope you're enjoying the stream and all future streams. Use the emotes for evil, not good. But yeah, you have to like, it's essentially, it's the equivalent of like, I have to get the marriage papers, I have to sign the marriage papers, I have to get all my family and friends together, like all these things. And it cracks me up. I told Sam I would give him away at the Eternal Bonding Ceremony. It's gonna be great. But they're they're getting married for all the wrong reasons, but who am I to say anything? They want that chocobo, man. Them dope chocobos. I like the way that you spelled chocobos, Ravensong. CHOCOBOES. Chocobos. Makes me giggle. I just tuned in. Why is she talking about marriage? Marriage in Final Fantasy 14. Everybody chill. Everybody cool it, as it were. I actually have no idea what we're going to play today. Maybe we'll play Final Fantasy 14. I don't know. We could play more Hotline Miami, but I think that that's going to just make me snap my own head in half, and then I can never stream again, and that's not what I want. Chocobros. But yeah. So this week was a good week. We did a lot of things. I don't regret anything that we did. I don't regret anything that was said. If anything, I walked away from Dropped Frames feeling like there were other things I could have said in addition, you know. But I feel like our points got across, and I was really glad, because I feel like I feel like everybody in the group, maybe not me, I don't know. Sometimes I just talk for the sake of talking, if you can't tell. I feel like everybody, regardless of me included or not, had some really good points that they made. Like, really, really good points. And I'm glad, because I feel like all of us can walk away saying, you know, that we contributed to a discussion that is happening off camera a lot, but we were willing to have that conversation on camera. And some people were saying, well, it's not fair that it was, you know, so one-sided, that like there were only women on that panel. But I think that women have the right to talk about women and what it's like to be a woman. Right? Like, if that's the topic, if the topic is going to be, what is it like to be a female streamer on Twitch, and what do you think about other female streamers on Twitch? I don't see why there is such a problem with the fact that there were only women on that panel. I think that kind of needed to happen. And if in the future, you know, people want to have a similar setup with both men and women, cool. But for what it was, for what that drop frames was supposed to be, I think it needed to have only girls on it. Like a female host, Shannon was amazing. And then 3 other girls that are all very different. I feel like Renee, Casey Tron, and I, we all have very different communities. We all have a very different business model as well, you know? So I don't feel entirely like it was just for women who all do exactly the same thing, because we don't. We're all on the same platform, but we do different stuff. So I don't regret anything about it. I feel really good about how that show went. So regardless of how the YouTube comments have been, regardless of how the subreddit has been, regardless of, you know, whether or not people feel like we were hypocritical in any way, I don't see it that way at all. And I'm really proud that I was part of that 4 that were able to sit and talk about it for a few hours and cause a lot of people to either think or continue to have the discussion. Like, that's the point, is that people feel inspired to continue talking about it. And maybe whether or not they continue to feel this exact same way as they did before, just to take a moment and wonder to themselves, like, do I agree with that? Do I not agree with that? And decide for yourself, right? Anyway. I haven't seen it, but I can imagine the comments. The chat at the time when it was the live show, the chat at the time was amazing. The chat at the time was so great. Very civil, very willing to discuss. And that's really all that we want, especially for the live show. We wanted people who were willing to talk about it. So we did our jobs. I feel like we did our jobs. That's all. Shannon's here. Shannon, I love you. I think you're beautiful. And you were a fantastic host. Everybody say hi, Shannon. Should I wait for Tormentum to go on sale, or is it worth the full price? How much is Tormentum? I even bought Tormentum and I can't remember how much it is. Tormentum. Legend of Grimrock was up and I thought for a second that it was Tormentum. And then I was like, oh, it's not. There's a demo, but the full game is $12. I don't know. How long did it take us to beat Tormentum? It took a few hours. It took a few hours of our time. We know that there are probably 4 different endings. It's a choice-based game. So, like, I personally do want to go back and do everything differently and see if the ending is worth it, right? If, like, the ending where you make the right choice is worth it, or I don't know. I got a lot of enjoyment out of that game, and I think the art is fantastic. I honestly think that it's worth the $12. But not everybody is going to feel that way because it is a point-and-click puzzle game. But dang, it's a point-and-click puzzle game with, like, beautiful artwork. It's choice-based, which is very rare. I thought it was really good. So, yeah. I mean, you can get the demo, see how you like that, because the demo takes you through like the whole very beginning of the game, so you can get kind of a feel for whether or not you're into it, you know. Have you played Ori yet? I have not. I have not played Ori yet, and I've heard that it's beautiful. It's weird. I didn't know anything about Ori until PAX East. I don't think I had even heard of it. Maybe we had talked about it on co-op, and it was one of those games where I was like, another beautiful platformer. And it just like popped out of my head and never to be seen again, right? But Ori is like all anybody has been talking about. They love that game. And I like platformers. I do enjoy platformers, so I don't know. I'll play it. I'll try it out. I miss Coffee Time. When will it be back? Ori. It's Ori. Wow, everybody is actually losing it over the fact that I called it Ori. I'm going to keep calling it Ori, and y'all can deal with it. Somebody was asking about Coffee Time. So Coffee Time, again, for those of you who don't know who I am, Coffee Time is a daily vlog that I did for 4 years. And it's been on hiatus for, oh my gosh, like a month now, I think. Man, that's kind of crazy. It's weird. I fluctuate back and forth with Coffee Time between being like, man, I have a story to tell, and being like, it feels kind of nice to not have that weird pressure to make a video about my life and make it interesting. I don't know. So I've been trying to figure out what I want to do with that show. I've been trying to figure out what the future of it should be. Whether it should be like, if I have a story to tell, I'll make a video. Or if it should be like, I'll do it once a week. But we do Saturday Morning Dooger once a week, right? So Saturday Morning Dooger kind of takes the place of like a once a week, here's what's going on with my life sort of a thing. So I don't know. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do with Coffee Time yet. And that's one of the reasons why when I made my Coffee Time update video, I said, I have no idea what's going on with this. I have no idea how long I'm going to be gone. I needed the time to like think about it. And literally, my mom's going to watch this later. Literally every time, mommy, hi. Every time I talk to my mom, she's like, what are you doing about Coffee Time? What are you doing with that channel? You need to be putting things on that channel because everybody's going to leave. I'm like, okay, mom. It's not that I don't believe that. It's not that I don't believe that, you know, people are going to slowly unsubscribe and be like, I guess she's not doing much with this channel. But like, I'm not gonna let that pressure me into making a choice that I'm possibly going to be unsatisfied with, you know? So I've been trying to put the VODs of this, which you are watching right now. I've been trying to put this up on that channel, and I want to do more stuff. I'm just a very disorganized person. Mentally, physically, emotionally. I would say emotionally is definitely at the bottom of that. I'm a fairly even keel person, unless I'm watching anime. If I'm watching anime, then I'm bawling at literally everything. Every time I watch One Piece, Sam's like, are you crying? What are you crying about? I'm like, they just love each other so much, and they're pirates and Nakama, and it's dumb. Anime makes me cry. Always. And I don't know what it is. I don't know why I'm so fragile about anime. It's ridiculous. So there you go. We'll peek into my life. Which, by the way, I need to get back on the One Piece train. I stopped after the Alabasta arc just ended. And it was like I reached the end of that arc. And I was like, oh, God, crocodiles and all sorts of things. And it all came to a close. And then I paused. And then I paused for a long, long time. Anime makes me cry as well. Let it out. Everybody love it. Let it out. If anime makes you cry, you're watching it right. Crockett's Dota gets it. Your Lie in April makes me cry a lot too. Oh my gosh, nobody spoil the end of Your Lie in April. I swear, nobody say what happens at the end because I haven't seen the last episodes. The last, 2 episodes? Wait. Because there's 23 episodes total, right? I think that's right. Hold on. How many episodes do I have left? Boop. Yeah, and Parasite ended too. Hold on. Looking at my Crunchyroll queue. If it'll ever load. There it is. I'm on episode 132 of One Piece. Yes, I have 2 episodes of Your Lie in April to watch. Your Lie in April is I was trying to explain Free. I tried to explain Free to Chris last night, and he was like, "That show sounds amazing." And I was like, maybe I'm not explaining it right. Not that I don't think that Free, like, I love Free. I love Free so much. I think it's one of the most precious animes that I've ever watched in my life. But if you're explaining Free and the other person goes, "That sounds like a really great anime," I feel like maybe you're not doing it correctly. Tokarp subscribed. Thank you so much for your subscription. I hope you're enjoying the stream and all future streams. Use the emotes for evil, not good. What was I talking about? Anime, obviously. But yeah, I was like, it's an anime about boys and they swim a lot, and it was made by a company that typically makes anime about like adorable girls, and then they made one about boys who love to swim, and so, you know, it's got lots of emotions and everybody's real cute and adorable, and there's homosexual overtones all over the way. Like, it's just a fantastic show. And he was like, "That sounds great. I should watch that." I was like, "You should." You should watch that. Oh my goodness. JP just subscribed. Bring out the hype cats. Bring out the hype cats. JP is finally subscribed to me. After how long of being friends, finally subscribed. But yeah, Parasite is great. Your Lie in April is another. It's about a guy who, when he was younger, he was known as like a piano prodigy, and his mom passes away, and when she passes away, he just stops playing piano altogether. And so he meets a girl who plays the violin, and she basically like encourages him to get back into piano, not for his mom, not for, you know, any reason other than he loves music and he is a musician at heart, right? And man, that show makes me cry all the damn time, like all the time. And all that I've been hearing ever since the final episode came out is just people being like, "Have you watched it? Because I've been thinking about it for like 2 days now." And I'm like, no, it's gonna ruin me. It's gonna literally destroy my life. So wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. This is like the most amazing thing. Remember earlier when we were talking about JP and Sam getting married? Look at how beautiful this is. Look how beautiful they are together. They just, God, their love is so pure and eternal. Double Barrel Banana subscribed. Thank you so much for your subscription. I hope you're enjoying the stream and all future streams. Use the emotes for evil, not good. Is this a talk show? I mean, that's the only thing that I can call it. Saturday Morning Dooger. It's like, it's just me being like, barf. And then I play a game. So we call it a talk show because there's no other category that makes sense for it. I always wind up talking about games. I always wind up talking about anime and just like nerdy adjacent things. So we call it a talk show. And there it is. It's a slow variety talk show. I was planning to change my PC background, but I love Death the Kid so much. But it like, there's a part of me that really loves that they're not symmetrical at all. Because for any of you who have watched Soul Eater, Death the Kid is like super into symmetry. Like everything has to be symmetrical except his own hair, apparently. And so there's a 2-monitor background that you can get. I have gas and it keeps escaping. Subscribed. I like to think that you are also the same person who owns 50 pounds of dicks or whatever that one was. Anyways. it's a double monitor picture where it's like supposed to be half of Death the Kid's face on this side and half of it on the other side and him doing this, but it's like offset in just the perfect way, just the most perfectest of ways. Just like, he would be so angry if he came in here and he saw himself as my background. He would be so upset because the color balance is different on both monitors and his mouth is like slightly like to this side. It's just, mwah. I love it. I love it. Kid would be so mad at you. I know. Isn't it great? All right. Okay. We've been talking for 45 minutes. Nailed it. I am going to go to a quick break, grab a little bit more tea, and then we'll come back and we'll actually play a game. There are 3,700 of you in here right now. I don't know why, but I love all of you. Thank you so much for showing up. If you don't know who I am, while we're on the break, if you don't know who I am and you want to know who I am, there are 2 buttons below me. One of them is a Twitter button. I always tweet when I'm going to be going live, so you can follow me on there at Dexbonus, DEXBONUS. Otherwise, you're just going to get lots of all-caps tweets about anime and Final Fantasy XIV and just whatever it is that I'm doing at the moment. But another button down there is for YouTube, and if you want to check me out on YouTube, I would super appreciate that. Lots of anime bullshit on there. It's been mostly Hotline Miami this last week, I'll be honest. But lots of anime bullshit on there. I do a show called Welcome to the Fandom that hasn't had a new episode in a little bit, but just fun, dumb stuff. And if you like fun, dumb stuff, I would love for you to check me out. And otherwise, let's go to our break, go pee, do whatever it is that you do. I don't know. Do you?